First question is branch of chemistry that deals with the complete qualitative and quantitative analysis of a substance is. Option C, analytical chemistry is the right answer. Next is identification of the components of a sample is. Option B, qualitative analysis is the right answer. Next is estimation of amounts of different components in a sample is. Option A, quantitative analysis is our right answer. Next question is which is not related pair of term used in analytical techniques. In analytical techniques we do not use separating funnel with mother liquor, that is option D, because separating funnel is used in filtration while the mother liquor is the liquid left behind after the crystallization, which is attached with the crystals. Next is the major steps involved in complete quantitative analysis are. There are 4 major steps. The first is obtaining a sample for analysis. Number 2 is separation of desired constituent. Number 3 is measurement and calculation of results. And the fourth one is drawing conclusion from the analysis. Next is which of the following technique is used for the separation of insoluble particles from liquids. So the separation of insoluble particles from the liquids is always done by the process that is called as filtration. So option A is going to be our right answer. Next is the technique used to separate components of mixture in solid phase. The answer is option C, that is sublimation. Next is the solid which is left over the filter paper as a result of filtration. So the leftover will be always called as residue, that is option B. Next is selection of filter paper depends on size of particles to be. Option A, filtered or separated is going to be our right answer. Next is sintered glass is a porous material used for. You have to remember that sintered glass is a crucible and crucibles are always used for filtration process. So option C is going to be our right answer. Next is fluted filter paper is used to. Fluted filter paper has greater surface area and due to this it will increase the rate of filtration. Therefore option C, increase the rate of filtration, is going to be our right answer. Next is NaCl and sand can be separated by one of the following techniques. So the mixture of NaCl and sand can be separated by dissolving the mixture into the water. NaCl will be dissolved while the sand will remain insoluble. First we use filtration to separate sand from the solution. After that by evaporation NaCl crystals will be obtained. So option A, formation of solution and filtration, is going to be our right answer. Next is size of filter paper is selected according to the amount of. So it is selected according to the amount of insoluble solute, that is option B, because greater the amount of insoluble particles, larger will be the size of the filter paper. Next is Gooch crucibles are made up of. Gooch crucibles are always made up of porcelain. Option C is going to be our right answer. Next is without suction pump filtration is. Option B, slow process, which is also called as time consuming process, is going to be our right answer. Next is rate of filtration can be increased by applying gentle suction. Suctions can be applied in all type of filtrations either through crucibles or filter paper. So option D, all of the above, is going to be our right answer. Next is sintered crucible is made up of. First we talked about the Gooch crucible, that it is made up of porcelain. You have to remember that Gooch crucible is made up of porcelain and sintered crucible is made up of glass. So option B is going to be our right answer. Next is the solution remaining after the formation of crystals is called as. Option A, mother liquor, is going to be the right answer because the liquid left behind after crystallization is called as mother liquor. Next is separation of a solid from its hot saturated solution by cooling is called as. Option D, crystallization, is the right answer. Next question is safe and the most reliable method of drying crystals is through. You have to remember that there are three methods for drying of crystals. The first one is the vacuum desiccators, the second one is through oven, and the third one is through filter paper. They are talking about the most reliable method. When you're going to use oven for drying of crystals, it would melt the crystals, so we don't have to use this. When we're going to use the filter paper through folding the crystals to make them dry, they're going to break the crystals. Therefore, this is also not going to work. For drying of crystals, the most reliable method is going to be vacuum desiccators, that is option B. Next is, in order to have good crystals of a substance, the temperature of the system at the time of preparation of solution should be. At higher temperature, more solute will dissolve in the liquid and more crystals will be formed. Therefore, option C, which says that sufficiently more than room temperature, is going to be our right answer. Next is, which one of the following precautions is necessary for smooth filtrations? When we're talking about the filtration process, the beaker in which the stem is attached should be filled because it causes suction for smooth running. This is the necessary precaution for smooth filtration. So option D, the stem of the funnel should remain continuously full of liquid, is going to be our right answer. Next is, one of the following properties cannot be associated with a good solvent. For a good solvent, option B is not going to work, which says that the solute should be able to dissolve the impurities easily, because then the separation would become more complex. So option B is going to be our right answer. Next is, large value of distribution coefficient K means option A, component of solute dissolve large in mobile phase. We have taken this answer through the formula which is given over here, that is K is equals to Cm over Cs. So option A will be our right answer. Next is, in crystallization, if the solvent is inflammable, then direct heating is avoided, because when we're going to heat it directly, in this way the solvent is going to catch fire. Therefore, direct heating is avoided in crystallization. Option B is going to be our right answer. Next is, 95% ethanol is called as. Option C, rectified spirit, is our right answer. Next is, to achieve a good separation, the two liquids are gently shaken to increase their area of. By shaking the two liquids in solvent extraction, the area of contact for solute increases. Equilibrium is established rapidly by shaking the liquids. Therefore, option C, contact, is going to be our right answer. Next is, in the process of crystallization, CaCl2 and P2O5 act as. So they act as drying agent, and the thing to remember is that with these two, silica gel also acts as drying agent in the process of crystallization. Next is, animal charcoal adsorbs the colored. Animal charcoal is a decolorizing agent and it adsorbs the impurities. So option A is going to be our right answer. Next is, crystallization does not involve. So crystallization does not involve the sublimation process, because in sublimation the solids are directly converted into gas, whereas in crystallization no substance is directly converted from solid to gas. Therefore, option B is going to be our right answer. Next is, the tip of funnel should touch the wall of the beaker in order to avoid. Option B, splashing, is our right answer. Next is, direct conversion of solids into vapors is called. We studied this before as well, in which I told you sublimation is the process in which solids are directly converted into gas or vapors. So option B is going to be our right answer. Next is, which is not a sublime material. So potash alum, option D, is not a sublime material because it can be converted into liquid. Next is, a substance having very high vapor pressure at its melting point. on heating will show option B, sublimation, is going to be our right answer, because again in sublimation a solid can be directly converted into the gas or the vapor state. Next is, which one of the following method will be used to separate the mixture of NaCl and sand? We studied this before and I told you that water dissolves NaCl, filtration removes the sand because it's insoluble in water and leaving solution of NaCl. By evaporating water, only NaCl will be left behind. So the whole process is going through filtration. So option D is going to be our right answer. Next is, repeated extraction using small portions of solvents is more efficient because then the more amount of solute can be extracted. Next is, in carbon tetrachloride iodine shows, option B, purple color, is our right answer. Next is, shaking two immiscible liquids increases. So when we are going to shake two miscible liquids, it will increase all of the above, that is length of contact, area of contact, and the volume of contact. So option D, all of the above, is going to be our right answer. Next is, when repeated extractions are performed by using small quantities of the solvent, then this process is thought to be more. This is the same question as we did before, just the wordings are different. So more amount of solute can be separated when we are going to extract small quantities of the solvent. So our answer, option A, will be right. Next is, ratio of the amount of solute in organic and aqueous solvent is. It's a general question whose answer is going to be option B, that is distribution coefficient. Our last question is, which of the following way is used for classification of chromatography? So the way which is used for their classification is phase, because there are two types of chromatography, adsorption and partition. In adsorption chromatography, stationary phase is the solid, and in partition chromatography, the stationary phase is the liquid. So option B is going to be our right answer.